What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Rivah. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure that you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It doesn't matter how you feel about this video, but we definitely want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this video. As you can see by the title, I definitely want to see what this whole conversation entails.
I just got a job, and I've been trying to get up enough money. I'm trying to join your Patreon. So I'm going to get up enough money so I can join that and, learn from you. But
send me an email, bro. I'll give you a couple complimentary months just to make sure you look out. You're a young bull. I got to make sure you're taken care of.
It doesn't matter what's practical. It doesn't matter what's logical. It doesn't matter what people say you can do, what most people do, what is the statistic. Do what you want to do and go after it with everything you have. You have your whole life to work a regular ass job, to work a regular job, to do all those regular things. Yep. You are young. Go after your dreams with everything you got, because you can always go be a regular adult.
Yeah, that's always.
You know what I'm saying? That's always the backup plan, but it's never the main plan. Oh, I need to do something practical. No, do exactly what you want to do. Put everything into it. Just because it doesn't work on the first time or the first opportunity or the first door, just keep going. Because the consistency is all it takes to get you there. And the belief in yourself is the thing that separates you to the person that's out there chasing that same dream. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So just go for it. Like, it don't matter.
I don't know what sound that is, guys, but it's not over here. I don't know whose computer is making like that kind of clicking sound, but I'm pretty sure JR will probably fix that or mute it at some point.
What seems more logical or what's the smarter thing to do? Go after your dream with everything you got.
Kay, y'all not gonna be giving these people bad advice now. We're not having that.
I didn't give no bad advice. These people in the comments, they don't get it.
I'm not looking at the comments. I just know what. Listen, my number one thing is, and I tell these dudes all the time: fuck your dreams. Don't nobody give a fuck about your dreams. we fuck
Find
your dreams.
Practical. I think that's what came.
Don't know. I said the opposite.
I know you said the opposite of that. I say fuck your dreams. That's what I tell them.
My thing is, do something that is going to sustain what you need to be sustained.
No.
That's my
No.
Gentlemen,
we got gas. We got gas. Gentlemen,
okay. We have gas.
Happy and with Anton. Trust me.
Let me say this real quick.
Every last one of these, I'm richer than your favorite rapper. Let's be clear.
Young boy just said his daddy is in his life.
Yeah, that was amazing.
His daddy is his best friend.
Yep.
The only thing he needs to do, he can get the supplements from everywhere else. He need to lock in with his dad.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
We didn't get enough information
with somebody.
About that, though.
He needs to lock in with somebody that's outside of his circle that can push him in ways and teach him things that he has not normalized and gotten used to. We need to get outside of our comfort zone and align ourselves with people that's doing something completely different.
Say that for after.
I had a question for Anton. So I put it in the super chat, but I guess he didn't see it. I just wanted him to address when he said, fuck your dreams. No disrespect.
So before this guy says anything, I want to just go back to that point that he's about to go back to. I think it's interesting that the two women who were on the panel, while Kayla was speaking, Kay was very like, yes, yes, I agree, like, yes. And, Anton was like, absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense. Like, no. And I thought that was interesting because women who support their sons from a young age and support their dreams, their visions, their plans, those men grow up to be extremely successful because of that. Like, yes, you can do it. You can do this. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? I find it interesting that, you know, Anton was very like, doesn't matter, doesn't, who cares? Because if you're not doing something that you're passionate about, how can you sustain living for a long time? Yeah, you can do something that's going to make you money or give you financial freedom in a sense, but how many people do we know that get financial freedom based off of doing something that they don't love, and either are not living happily, are miserable, or depressed, are on all types of medications, you know, commit, you know, jump off of something, you know. I don't know if that's a trigger word for the platform, but so I think that doesn't I think that definitely is that's where I don't agree with Anton. I want to see how this guy approaches the question, and then how Anton reacts to this as well.
I didn't take it offensively. I just want some perspective on what he meant.
You have a better chance, an infinitely better chance at being super duper successful by just being intentional and being disciplined and being focused on leveling up. You don't have to go into a lot of student debt in order to become successful. If you decide to go to college, maybe you should go into something that's actually going to be, you know, good for you where you can write your own ticket. If you are intentional, right, and you decide not to fall into the same lulls that everybody else falls into as far as making sure that you become successful, you ultimately can write your own ticket. If you go into cybersecurity, if you go into software engineering, you can do anything you want to, and there is plenty of people that become millionaires every single day versus trying to play the lottery and the odds of following your dreams. Because a lot of times when people say follow your dreams, or when people follow their dreams, often at times they just do the thing that prolongs what they're going to have to do when they become an adult anyway. Right? There's a small chance of you making it into the NBA. It's a very, very, very small chance of you being a successful rapper. And even if you do, that does not mean that you're going to be successful long term, or that you even gonna make money doing it, right? And if you decide to follow your dreams, you can do that in addition to whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing anyway.
Okay, so who dictates what you're supposed to be doing anyway is my greater question. So you're supposed to be following your dreams. You're supposed to have visions and plans. And if being intentional makes you successful, then you should be intentional on your visions, your plans, and the things that you want to do. I think that everyone started with a vision and a plan. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Jay-Z. Like, we can go down the list of a million names that I can name of men that had a vision and had a plan and work towards that thing. And some plans, depending on how great of an impact you're going to make within this space, within the world, you cannot focus on anything else. You have to give that all of your attention, all of your time, all of your focus, all of your drive, everything that you have within you, because of how great the reward is going to be for the work that you're putting in at that present time. So on that, I definitely just don't agree. I do agree that you have to fund your dream. I do agree with that, because obviously you have to live, you have to survive, you have to eat, you have to do all of you want shelter. But for great visions and plans, you have to lock in and focus on that thing. You literally have to have tunnel vision. You have to focus like telescope, like chapter 9 says. You have to literally focus on your visions, your plans, your dreams, because that's how you're going to make them come into fruition. So I don't agree with that. And if all of those other men that I just named, and I can name so many more, were dual focused or focused on other things instead of their vision and their plan, I mean, we literally wouldn't be on this platform, because it would not exist.
I got a really good friend from Detroit, and he wound up being a pretty significant rapper. But while he was following his rap dreams, he also wound up becoming a doctor. He's a practicing physician today. My point is that if you're really trying to be successful, and if you really want to follow your dreams also, then you can do both. You can work full time, you can go to college, and then you can do whatever it is that you want to do on it.
No, you can. Oh, no, okay. But some would say that the friend who wanted to be a rapper and then is a doctor, some would say that maybe he doesn't care about rapping that much. Maybe it was just something that he did on the side. Or some would say that maybe if he did not go to school to be a doctor, he would probably be more successful in music. So especially, okay guys, especially we're talking about right now in 2021. Especially now, because a lot of these things that seem so hard to attain, they're really not anymore. A lot of certain avenues that people want to take, it's really just about your knowledge of how to do it. It's not like it was before where you're waiting for someone to come rescue you and discover you. It's not that. We have the power to do all of these things on our own. So I just don't agree with that at all. Let me know what you guys think about this.
You can nurture that dream. If it means that much to you, then you will dedicate yourself to being successful in that other thing while you're also taking care of your business as a man. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that don't nobody care about your dreams. I know a lot of dudes that I grew up with, and they over 40 today talking about they still gonna make it in the rap game. No, you're not. You broke. You still live with your mama. You in your mama's basement, and at some point you're gonna have to come to the realization I gotta grow the F up.
But what can we say about, like, for example, this is just an example. What can we say about somebody like 2 Chainz, who literally made it as a rapper literally at 40 years old? Literally. Okay, him just even if he doesn't do any more music, right? He's created a name for himself. He's getting residual income from the music that he put out before. He can start whatever business he wants to at this point because he has the funds and the availability to do so. So this is why I don't agree. And I think it's important that men, when you are on your plan or focusing on your dream, as we all know, you do have to be able to fund your dream. You have to be able to, create some kind of life for yourself. But you have to make sure that you get in a relationship with a woman who is in alignment and understanding to assist you so that you can go ahead and go and grow. Somebody that is beside you that says, you know what, take off running, focus on what you got to do, and we're gonna work this thing.
Because don't nobody care about your dreams.
I do.
So when you
only care about the results.
Okay, I can respect what you said. So when you say it, you're more talking about in the context of like a celebrity type career.
I'm talking about whatever it is. I don't care what your dreams is.
Okay, so let's say for me, from my personal example, when I was a kid, I like to build shit, right?
I should keep it brief.
Sorry, man. The clubhouse that we played and all types of stuff, whatever. I ended up going to university for architecture. I didn't finish my degree. I had a couple more years left, but I ended up going into construction, which I feel was what I was kind of predestined for in a certain way. So, in a sense where you're saying fuck your dreams, I mean, I get it. Like, if you want to play basketball or whatever, that's not necessarily, it's a way to make money, lots of money, and very few people get that opportunity, but don't focus on that, have a plan B. In the sense where I'm not necessarily looking to be a basketball player, I'm looking to have a big construction company that, makes millions of dollars a year. That's my dream.
Okay, what does that have to do with what I said?
Absolutely. I kind of lost my point, but thank you for breaking that down. I really appreciate that, man.
So I want to say something to this because I was the one that gave this advice. Why is it when people talk about dreams?
Well, his point was is that should he not focus on his dreams and still work for a regular construction company? And just say, forget my dreams. I'm not going to work towards creating a big company. I'm just going to be the worker all the days of my life. He didn't really lose his point. It's just the energy that he was receiving back during his conversation. He wasn't allowed to fully get to that point and fully say what he was trying to say. And I think that he obviously values the opinion of Anton. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come on to even ask that question. But I'm intrigued on what Kayla is going to say.
People start talking about NBA players and rappers. And I'm glad that Cliff said that because having a construction business is very much a viable dream, just like being a rapper. I think that that's what people think when you say, oh, follow your dreams, because people have these fantasies. That's a fantasy. I'm not talking about fantasies. I'm talking about actual dreams and what you want to do with your life. versus like I have a really good friend that spent 10 years committed to chemistry and doing all of this only to realize like she doesn't want to spend her life doing that. And then she moved to Serbia and became a huge graphic artist. You know what I'm saying? When she could have spent, instead of these years going and doing chemistry because that's practical, that makes money, that's what her parents wanted her to do.
Right.
She wasted time instead of doing what she really wanted to do. And so then she was, felt like she, not behind the curve, but felt like she could have accomplished more we're 30 now. She could have accomplished more in her career had she gone straight into it versus doing a job because it makes money. Right. A lot of people make a lot of money and they're very fucking unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
That's not true. That's not true.
They are.
That's not true. That's a lie.
That's your opinion. But I am around people.
That's not. How can Anton say that? How can Anton say that? I literally know a lot of people who are super financially successful and are miserable, just angry. That's why like I said, you see these people literally take certain measures to not be here anymore because they have the money, they have the wife, they have the kids, they have the home, they have the cars, they have the this, they have the that, and they're not fulfilled inside because they're just not happy. And I want to take this point because Jay-Z actually spoke about this. This is why I find this very, very interesting. Because I know that he said that he's richer than a lot of people's favorite rappers. I'm not saying that Jay-Z is necessarily my favorite rapper, but I definitely know that it's not possible that he's richer than Jay-Z. That's just not possible. But he literally has spoken about, and I just had to pull it up on my phone so that you guys can see it. The lack of support he received from his uncle at the start of his career. And he says that part of being confident is taking chances and being fearless. I had a foolish confidence early on. I remember my first demo, like when I first said I knew how to make songs. I didn't know how to make songs. I thought I did at the time. I played it for my uncle and I was like, yo, I'm better than LL Cool J. And he said, get the F out of here. My uncle was like, really, get out of here. You're never going to be better than LL Cool J. That's literally what he told him. That's literally what Jay-Z's uncle told him as he was like a young man with a dream, with a plan, with a vision, and he's going to his uncle for support. His uncle's like, get out of here. You're never going to be that good. And he says, I was so hurt. He almost damaged me, but I survived that. And once I knew that, I was like, so I kind of came in, if you remember, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? That was like one of his, songs. And he was like, I was like how those guys were at the time. I believe that I was on their level at that time. My first album. So I always had confidence, and I always knew that I was going to excel beyond. But you still got to do it. You could believe it. You could have the belief. It's just second nature. So basically, and then he says, I think that's the most important lesson for me. Be true to yourself. And I think that's it key when it comes to this conversation. And if I was on this panel, I would have even literally pulled this up and brought this up in the conversation. Because if you have look how successful Jay-Z is right now. Just look at that. What if he would have listened to the words of his uncle, stopped rapping, never, zoned in on his craft, never did anything else, and stayed with the career path, because we all know what the career path he was on back then, stayed that way. What would he be? What would be of him now? Would we know of him now? Would his name ring bells like it does now? It would not. It wouldn't. So I don't agree with the sentiments of don't focus on your dreams. Yes, focus on your dreams. Focus on your plans. Because as she said, we're not talking about fantasies. We're talking about dreams, plans, visions. You can make them happen. Literally, any dream, any plan, any vision that you have, you can literally make it happen if you believe that you can.
I know more poor people that's unhappy than rich people that's unhappy.
Again, we're not debating experiences. You can't invalidate mine and I can't invalidate yours. Yours is yours.
I absolutely can.
No, you can't. You can't because you don't know everybody in the world and you don't know everybody I know.
The average black man makes less than $50,000 a year.
Thanks for having me on there.
Like I said,
average black man makes less than $50,000 a year. Ain't no motherfucking body sitting here absolutely ecstatic.
I'm not surrounded by those people. I don't know what you're talking about. I went to Howard University.
Stop it.
I went to Howard University, where one of my best friends is a huge actress in LA. One of my really good friends, Jay Murphy, is Jason Derulo's DJ. Chase B is.
I can name 1,000 people that's famous that I know that's friends of mine too.
I can
what does that
name
mean?
3/4 of my circle that actually chased their dreams and went on to be successful. So you can sell whatever dream about how it's not practical to go after if you wanted to be a professional makeup artist, which she went on to do and is working in LA. If you wanted to be a stylist, which Sankara literally works for Kevin Durant, works for Sweetie, I know people that are living their dreams, and I was one of them. And I delayed myself trying to do what my dad said and do all this practical ass bullshit until I moved to Miami and said, you know what, I'm going for my dreams. And then what happened? I was on tour with Pitbull. I've danced in multiple. I have a long dance resume in terms of me following my dreams and becoming true. Yeah, I was a ballerina, and then I became a professional dancer.
I love it.
So if I went with what my dad said in terms of not follow my dreams,
right?
Oh, because only a certain ratio of women are going to be able to be on tour with Pitbull or do videos and shows with Nicki Minaj and do shows with DJ Khaled and all these things that I've done. Because someone told them that they couldn't do it.
Right.
I mean, you can tote that if you want, but I lived the success. I've been around the people that had the success. So I just can't go by just because these successes are in entertainment. I also know people who have successes in PR, who have successes and have a very successful plumbing company that he owns. He makes $200,000 doing plumbing. I know someone makes $200,000 a month doing insurance, living out their dreams. That doesn't have to be entertainment. So I don't know. I just feel like when you're young and you're a kid, that is the time to go for your dreams. Not when you're 35 and you have a family to support.
Yes, Kayla.
When you're 18 and you can do whatever you want to do.
So let me break this down. I did a whole show on exactly how much people are making from what culture and what part of the world and how it is that they transition over into being successful here in America, right? It's a reason why Indian cultures, Asian cultures are overwhelmingly dominating when it comes to household income. I don't use anecdotal experiences in order to justify my argument. I look at the majority. And the majority of Asian and Indian households, listen, I'm an executive at a pretty large size company right now. When I get on these calls, right? And we're vetting different contractors, or we're talking about different people that's making, $250,000 a year, and they got $250,000 a year jobs because they're working from home and they can name their own salary and they write their own prices and they're making over $500,000 a year. And I see this regularly. You know what they look like? They're Asian, Indian, and white, and me. One black guy there. One black guy when I was in college in these classes. One black guy when it comes to being able to get these positions. One black guy that levels up that's outside of the role of diversity leader or some bull crap that they got, that they made a position so they can have a black guy or a black woman in there. The reality is that when you look at the overall majority, the people that are making the most money and getting all of the jobs that's worth having, that's going to transition as we continue to build out this new version of the internet called the metaverse, that they're hiring over 10,000 people over in this specific area in order to help build this out. When Microsoft allocate $25 billion instead of a $1 billion budget yearly in order to solve for the cybersecurity process. The problem is that we're not the ones that's in position to even be able to get these positions. There's whole countries and whole cultures that's dedicated to making sure that their kids and their people are getting all of the good jobs and all of the resources and all of the money. And then they decide what they want to do afterwards. And then they go and buy all of the property. And then they build all of their businesses and they fund all of their dreams and they empower their kids and they build real generational wealth. You don't do that on a hope and a dream. You do that based off of intentionality. So if we want to go off of small anecdotal experiences, that's cool. But if we want to go off real statistics and who's really getting all of the jobs and making all of the money, then we have to use real life experiences in order to illustrate exactly how people are being successful. And it's not by chasing your dreams, it's because they're groomed for these positions and they don't have a choice. If you want to go to college, these are the fields that you have a choice from in order to study. And if you want us to pay for your college degree, this is what you're going to do. We're not doing liberal arts. We're not doing basket weaving. We're not doing all of this bull crap. We doing stuff that's actually going to change the trajectory and allow you and guarantee you to be able to raise your kids in a place outside of the possibility of living in poverty.
And that's great. And that's great, right? We're always going to have that. We're always going to have parents who are telling their kids what to do, how to live, how to be, and that's fine. But all of the people who I named, who literally, like I said, Bill Gates, all of these people, the platforms that we use to literally communicate with each other, that was an avenue of something that did not exist. It did not exist. So sometimes you have children who have visions, who have plans of things that do not exist, that will change the whole narrative of the way that we see things, the way that we maneuver, the way that we communicate with each other. And you, because you may not understand it or know it, won't support that dream, and then that person will then lead and go to be extremely successful. There is so many people who are extremely successful doing music, because why? There's so many different genres of music. People love music. While people, the people that he's talking about are being, groomed and made to do certain things. They listen to music in their car. They listen to music on the way to road trips. They listen to the music at business meetings. Some business meetings, when they're like hyping people up, they have music playing. So everybody plays different roles. So it is understandable that you're going to have people with traditional mindsets. But everybody's dreams and visions doesn't mean that it's anything different either. Some people's vision is to be a doctor. Some people's dream is to be a nurse. Some people's dream is to be a chiropractor and own a big business. Some people, their dream is to own an orphanage. Like, there's so many different avenues that we can go into about what people deem as their dreams and successful. So to say as a blatant statement, F your dreams, I think, no.
That's the truth. That's the data. That's the statistics, and that's what's really happening in society. So you can tell all of these people to go and chase their dreams all you want to, but the reality is that if you look at the statistics, we're last, almost dead last, almost number 70 on the census of the amount of money that we're generating in our households. Not individually, but in our households, we're number 70. You can go and look it up right now.
And that's fine. I don't agree. And there's nothing that you're going to say or no statistic you're going to tout that's going to change my mind. So. Okay, that's cool. Well, you couldn't argue. And generational wealth, I already come from generational wealth. So. Okay. Well, I'm a first generation millionaire, and I got it out the mud, and I did it the way that I'm telling other people to do it, because you don't have to be unique in order to do it. You just got to be intentional. Okay. And no one ever said I wasn't intentional. You saying, just running away with some dream, like it doesn't take work. Like people just out there doing it willy-nilly. You think people got to where all the people I talked about, you think they got to where they were because they was just hoping and making wishes? No, niggas was working. Niggas was putting in work. That's good. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I don't hang around niggas. I get where you're coming from. I don't hang around niggas, so I don't know. I get where you're coming from because you didn't come from generational wealth and you didn't have a backup plan. And you didn't have people supporting you like I did, so I get where you're coming from. You have no idea what I had supporting me. You just said you're first generation. You just said you're first generation. That don't have nothing to do with somebody supporting. Did you or did you just not say you were first generation? I am a first generation millionaire, but that has nothing to do with supporting me. Okay. What are you talking about? Okay, so again, if you're first generation, that means that the generations before you did not achieve said success, correct? So they didn't have anything to hand down to you. You just said you had to go get it out the mud yourself. So what I'm saying is that being successful has nothing to do with being a millionaire. Able to reach a certain place so that I would be able to actually which is exactly what's wrong with your mentality, because 80% of all millionaires are new millionaires. I don't care. I'm not doing anything. You don't care because you don't have a conversation. I don't want to do just here's the reality. Here's the reality. You're a woman. You're not a man. You don't understand what it takes to be a man. So you do what you do. Hold on. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. You're a woman. You're not a man. You don't know what it takes to be a man. That's A. B, 80% of all
Stop. Just 1 second. Like, just let me kick it. 80% of millionaires are new millionaires. The majority of people that inherit wealth, they fumble the bag because they get in their emotions and they're not as disciplined and as focused as the people that actually generated the wealth that handed it to them. And that's why 80% are new millionaires, 80%, not 80%, but a little over half are immigrants. They come from nothing because they understand what it takes to be disciplined and to be intentional.
I think it's important that if we're going to talk about this, especially like I said in 2021, we have to talk about there's a lot of kids on social media who are literal millionaires. Why are they millionaires? Because their parents were successful in whatever it is that they've done, create businesses, maybe to follow traditional, whatever it is that their parents have done. And these kids, some of them in high school, some of them literally in middle school, some of them in elementary school, got onto a platform, play games, do whatever it is that they do, created a name for themselves, and have their own wealth, so much wealth that sometimes those same parents who gave them a place to, who bought the game systems for them and who gave them a place to live, end up quitting their jobs and no longer have to work because of the wealth of their children. So I think that's something that we should mention as well when it comes to your dreams. All they want to do is be a gamer. They become so successful literally being a gamer, where people would think that that's crazy. No, you need to focus on being a doctor. They become a gamer. They're making way more money than a doctor can ever see. So I understand his sentiments, but you can't make a broad statement of saying F your dreams, because it's just not possible to do that.
Most people that inherit wealth, they fumble the bag. And generational wealth don't even mean what you think it is. What happens is, if you really understood how money works, what really happens is they prefer not to give it over to the federal government. So they do things like 1031 exchanges. They make sure that they avoid capital gains taxes. And what they do is they establish ways in order to be able to pass on wealth so that they don't give it to the government. And so their kids just by default inherit it. It's not because their kids were so awesome. It's because they didn't have anybody else to give it to. So actually, inherited wealth in most situations ultimately create a coddled environment where the person ultimately fumble the bag and they don't know what it means in order to work. They're handicapped. They need to understand. This is why men need to talk to men about what they need to do. Men need to go through things. They need to suffer. They don't need to be given their first car. They need to work for it. They need to understand what it means to appreciate certain things and go through certain things, because those are the experiences that they're going to have to carry with them as far as raising their family and being real men and being a solid rock. This ain't about how you feel.
It's not about feelings.
This is about what you need to do in order to be successful. It's a completely different
not a man,
conversation.
But I would love to know what Anton deems as successful based off of the things that he said, because all of the things that he said are true. Men are the ones that ultimately carry the weight of a lot of the things that we see in society. They sustain the life of their wife, their children, and stuff like that. So I understand his sentiments, but when he's saying no one cares about your feelings and being successful, again, we cannot not speak about the men who do all of these things and are chasing all of this money, and at the end of the day don't even live to see it all. And also we have to talk about the fact that everybody is not going to be a millionaire. Bottom line, everyone is not going to be a millionaire. And everybody does not want to be a millionaire. There are people who don't mind living a comfortable lifestyle and are content because they feel fulfilled every single day when they go to and from work. We can't just talk about we can't measure success across the board based off of Anton's ideology of what success is or what it means to be successful.
Not built for this conversation to be having with young men on telling them what they need to do in order to be successful.
Actually, because I'm a part of a family business.
Fellas, don't listen to women telling you what you need to do in order to be successful.
You cannot judge something you don't know about. Okay,
I just
you can say whatever.
How many people
you
you coach? How many people have you made millionaires?
It doesn't.
How many people have you made millionaires?
That's not a part of it.
I got real life stories. Real people that can come on a platform that can tell you exactly how you can become a millionaire. And this ain't make believe. I don't just talk out my ass. I'm talking real life.
Okay.
I help real people become millionaires. No, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to advocate for these guys to stop listening to women that give them advice on what they need to do as far as leveling up.
Okay, is it only women in the audience, sir?
It's only been men that asked the question on this platform.
Are there women in the audience?
Men jumped on here and cammed up and asked the question.
Okay,
you gave them advice. I'm telling them they're wrong,
sir.
You
been
wrong.
Gone. He's
been
gone. I'm not.
It is what it is.
I'm not. That's your life, wherever you are.
No, that's real life.
It has nothing to do with me or my family business. All the people around me in the circles that I'm around that are also a part of family businesses that make millions of dollars. So you can say whatever you want to say. It's not going to affect my life.
That's your argument?
I don't need
it's
an
not
argument
affect
because
my
I don't
life.
have anything to
It's not going to affect my life.
I don't have anything
because we was having a debate about how it is that men need to move. What you mean, who are me? I'm the man. You better motherfucking Google me.
I don't have to do shit. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm the man.
Pause this video to Google Anton.
You ask who am I? I'm the man.
Amen.
I'm that guy.
Amen. That has nothing to do with me, my life, my family, or our business.
I'm the man. Remember that.
Amen. And there are many of you all over the world.
And when you get off this stream, I'm going to haunt you in your dreams because you're going to remember that I'm the man.
Sir, you're giving yourself too much credit. You really are. Maybe to your wife you are because she's beefing your ego
everybody
with all the
I
shit
am.
that you're talking.
To
but
everybody
to me, I don't have any loyalty to you because I don't know you. So I don't care.
It don't matter. It don't make what I'm saying to you that's true.
It doesn't.
I'm still the man. At the end of the day, you talking based off of something that your family helped you with.
You're speaking about something I built out the mud. No. What are you talking about? My mom built this shit out the mud, and I helped her.
You not your mom. You not your mom. You said that your family helped you.
Yes, I took on this family. I got mine out the mud. It's different. Family business.
And at the end of the day, you still don't know what it takes to be a man, and you can't coach a man on how to be.
Nobody said I did. We're not talking about manhood.
Then stop giving men advice.
Again, nobody's talking to men specifically. There are women on the chat, and I see women in the chat. So unless you're telling all these women that they don't matter, and the only people that matter are the men in the chat, then go ahead and.
So the women, fuck your dreams. Same advice.
All right.
Same advice.
So as long as you're there for them, I'm sure they'll listen to you. Because when something happens,
they should listen to me.
You'll be there for them, right?
I am.
You'll pick up the pieces. You'll figure it out for them.
I do. I just had a whole session where I just gave out almost $30,000 to give all of these different people, including the overwhelming majority of them women, in funding their businesses. I am.
1,100.
And I do. And here's the thing. I do it every month. I do it every month.
Okay, so
I put my money up where my mouth is.
So
what
help
you doing?
Everyone then. Help everyone then.
What are you doing?
Help everyone then.
Oh, no. Because you wanted to have this conversation. What gives you any kind of credence? What gives you any kind of credentials to be able to say or mean anything? Why do your words mean anything? Because you asked. No.
Hold on. What you really want to do in life versus people putting you in a box. People like you.
You asked me who am I, who I help, and all of this stuff.
To me,
so I told you.
Who are you to me? And that's not anyone.
Now you want to make it personal.
I just met you tonight.
You asked me the question, so now I'm going to ask you the same question. Who are you, and why should we listen to you and take your word for it?
Because I actually have the results that I'm talking about. And I have people around me in my circles that have the results that I'm talking about, that chase their dreams, that follow their heart, and actually was successful at it and made a lot of money doing it. And now I've moved on to supporting my family business and making a lot of money doing that too. And I'm about to move to Los Angeles and actually fully try to scale my dreams past where I've reached.
Try to scale your dreams.
And
so you somebody that's not even fully successful in your own way.
I don't care what you think. Don't you get that?
You're not even somebody that's successful in your own way.
Don't you get that?
But you want to give somebody else some advice?
Yeah.
Some advice?
I can do that. I did it. And what did you do about it? Nothing. You just talk.
This shit No, I don't just talk. I put my money
but you just
I live
There's
it.
nothing you can do.
I live it. My whole life is an open book. I live it.
Okay.
I don't just talk. I live it.
Okay, great.
Remember that. I'm not. Remember me. I'm going to haunt you in your dreams.
Sir, you should go tell your wife, not me.
I'm going to haunt you in your dreams.
You should go tell your wife. I promise
you. You're going to think about me after the day.
For what?
I promise you.
You being cute. Go ahead for your followers.
Nah, I'm being real. I promise you.
Go ahead for your followers and your fans if you think that.
And then you're going to Google me afterwards. I promise.
For what?
If
we haven't had a great dialogue here, then why would I do that? Because there's not mutual respect. There's not mutual respect. So I don't give. I've been around some very I was in a whole relationship with someone in the NBA for 2 years. The type of circles that I've been around and the people that I've been around, he could say whatever he want to say. But I've been around some miserable ass rich people. Yes, they can buy this and they can buy that, but you know what they can't buy? Someone to love them properly, not for their money. You know what they can't buy? Health and being healthy, you know.
Happiness.
They can't buy family members that have an actual genuine relationship with. And you guys can value whatever you want to value. But I know if I value what's true to me, then God's going to bring the success into my life like he has up until now, like he has in my family's life, like he has in our family business and everything that we have going on. So he's proven my whole point is that it doesn't matter what anybody says. They can't break me or shake my belief. That's how faith and belief works. No human that's telling me, oh, this happened to me, that doesn't change what I do, how I do it, or what I believe. That's called having a foundation. That's called having something that you stand for. And I'm going to keep standing for it. Whether he wants to tell people to Google him or whatever, he spent $30,000, blah, 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 rattling off his tropes, that's fine. But he's proving my point. That as soon as you say that you want to go for something, there are people that immediately will come and say, oh, you can't do that. That's not practical, blah, blah, blah. This is what people do.
Yeah.
Black people told my brother that he would never be a professional tennis player. And he is now. Hits with Serena, hits with Nisha Corey, hits with people that doesn't even matter because you're not in tennis, you're not going to know these names. But he did it. Nick Bollettieri recruited him at 15, moved our family to Florida.
See?
So, and he had a vision about this in a dream and moved to Florida 2 weeks later. So at the end of the day, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know my family. Y'all don't know what we have going on. And that's it.
So why are you still talking about your family?
Because I can talk if I want. I can talk if I want.
Why are you still talking about your family if it's not important?
And what you gonna do?
Because you don't got a leg to stand on, and your argument is weak.
From talking, so I'm gonna keep talking.
You're right.
So what now? What now?
This is the truth.
What now?
Instead of you humbling yourself.
What now? What now?
Oh, it's coming out now.
What now?
It's coming out now.
This is okay. So this is an issue though. This is an issue because the issue is that I completely understand her sentiments. I completely understand her point. I completely understand the things that she's saying, and I can agree with it. But the issue is having someone draw you out of your femininity is when you can get into an issue. Because at this point now, you don't have to agree with anything that Anton is saying. You can literally disagree. But this kind of antagonizing behavior and this kind of kind of challenging, trying to go toe-to-toe with a man is when you're now showing your weaknesses. So now if there was any value that you did bring to the conversation, now at this point, nobody's listening. And I'm not saying nobody as in nobody at all, but I mean like as a man, that's when the ears turn off and they put you just in a category and then they negate everything that you just said, even if there was any truth to it. So it's important to have conversations and be able to stand firm on your ground, but also it's important to not be combative when doing so and being able to deliver your message effectively without ultimately fighting. You know, I don't think it's necessary for the conversation to go even as ultimately as strong as it did, just because of the point that you can have two differing point of views, different mindsets, and agree to disagree at some point. I've had interactions with Anton, and I feel like he does give. I'm not saying he necessarily is doing that within this conversation, but he does. Even if he feels strongly about a point, he even came back, and you could see like when he came back on the screen, his energy was just like a little bit different, more receptive, more just kind of like okay, whatever. They were having a debate. So I think that her doing that, what now, it's kind of like showing a different side of her, which is herself. She's showing herself. She's being authentic, but it's showing the viewers. It's showing, men out there. It's showing even the platform like, she's like a fighter, She's defensive. She's pretty masculine.
It is, y'all. Listen,
now?
This is why she's sitting here unmarried, talking about all of her experiences, everything that other people built for her. Put herself in a position to where she dated this guy and she seen this, when in reality,
What's that?
There is no real life experiences to go along with it. That's the truth. Don't ever, fellas, don't ever subject yourself to this type of environment, ever. This is the thing that we run away from, not the thing that we embrace. Remember this. Pay attention to this. Time step this, y'all. Pay attention. She came out of her frame. She wanted to argue with a man. Now she in her masculine energy talking about what now. And that's usually what happens when they can't stand on their argument. They start to get into this little space.
I stood on my argument.
Anecdotal.
Period.
Anecdotal.
You made a different argument.
Anecdotal.
Period.
She don't know.
No,
nothing.
what you said was anecdotal. Mister, I give $30,000 to people. How many people are doing that?
I gave you data.
How many people are doing that, Anton? Since
every month?
Oh, you not? Yeah. How many people
spending
are
over $360,000 a year funding other people's businesses?
Doing what you're doing? How many people are doing what you're doing?
That means I'm the man.
Standard.
What you talking about?
Since you're the standard.
I am the standard. I am the standard.
You're not the standard.
I am the standard.
You're not the standard.
I am. You'd be lucky to be in my presence.
Oh gosh, Anton is something else. But I think it's in I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say exactly what he just said, just based off of even how I felt. Even when she started like combating what now. And they have this saying that you can have your right and give it away, and that's exactly what she did. There's so many. You can have this exact same standpoint. You can have this exact conversation. You can say these exact things without being masculine, without being combative, and without trying to fight it. Because I definitely understand her sentiments. But as he just said, women, this is something that we try to stay away from. So in her saying like, you should fund your dream. I mean, you should focus on your dreams. You can be successful. You can do this. You can do that. And then she just kind of like negated her own self by being so combative that he's saying like, oh yeah, so listen to this kind of woman who's going to be combative with you and who's going to fight with you, but you can fund your dream. But you can, focus on your dreams. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally negating everything that she just said just by her being so combative and what now. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. I really, really want to know. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.